If you have ever tried to start an online business, like dropshipping or Amazon FBA, and watched it stall out, you are likely fighting a structural disadvantage rather than a lack of talent. You are not lacking drive, and you certainly are not lacking information. The problem is a model mismatch. You picked a vehicle that requires massive upfront capital, high-level marketing experience, and a tolerance for daily losses. If you are just starting out, you do not have those resources yet. You essentially tried to enter a professional heavyweight fight while still in your first week of training. Top-tier investors look at these failures through a different lens. Charlie Munger, the billionaire business partner of Warren Buffett, operated on a simple rule: invert, always invert. He believed that instead of searching for how to succeed, you should figure out exactly what causes failure and then actively avoid it. Grinding harder in a business model that is structurally designed for experts with deep pockets is a reliable way to go broke. Success comes from stepping away from those high-barrier systems and choosing a vehicle that aligns with where you are right now. This is about finding the laziest route possible, not in terms of physical inaction, but in terms of efficiency. We are looking for a competitive advantage that generates the highest return for the least amount of friction. To find this, we run every potential business through 3 specific filters: scalability, risk, and reward. A viable model for a beginner must be easy to scale, carry near-zero financial risk, and offer a high payoff for a job well done. Dropshipping scores poorly here. The risk is high because you are often at the mercy of shipping delays and copycat competitors, and the scalability is bottlenecked by how much you can afford to spend on ads every single day. Building a software company has the same issue. It maxes out the scalability column, but for a beginner, it fails the risk column. The technical complexity and capital required to launch a stable product create a barrier that most people never overcome. Because traditional models fail to balance these 3 pillars, they create a vacuum. To actually build wealth starting from zero, you need a vehicle that can maintain high scores across all 3 categories simultaneously. When we apply those 3 pillars to a different vehicle, Digital Products 2.0, the numbers look very different. Think of it like a spinning wheel game, where the cost of a spin is 0. If a product doesn't sell, you lose nothing. You just spin again. But the moment you land on a green slice, it pays out massively. In this model, you only have to be right once for the entire effort to be worth it. This used to be an expensive game to play. Just a few years ago, creating a high-quality digital course required production teams, licensing fees, and months of manual research to ensure the information was actually valuable. That barrier has evaporated because human expertise is no longer the bottleneck. In 1950, Alan Turing developed a benchmark to gauge when a machine could match human intelligence. Recently, AI finally crossed that gold standard. It has now synthesized nearly every book, research paper, and study ever written. This integration is already standard practice at the highest levels of tech. Toby Lutke, the CEO of Shopify, requires internal teams to prove a task cannot be handled by AI before he approves a new human headcount. You no longer need to be a subject matter expert to build a product. You simply need to use specialized AI tools to direct and package the intelligence that the machine already possesses. This works like a mechanical assembly line. Step 1 is identification. Most people fail here because they build products for broad, oversaturated markets like general fitness. Instead, use the 3rd layer theory. You drill 3 levels down into a niche until you hit a specific center point. You aren't selling a running guide. You are selling a solution for marathoners over 50 who need to resolve chronic knee pain during long runs. You can validate this demand instantly. By using marketplace trackers or monitoring digital sales data on platforms like X, you can see exactly which niche products have already crossed $100,000 in sales before you spend a minute building anything. Step 2 is synthesis. Specialized AI tools can scrape thousands of research papers and training books in minutes to assemble a complete, evidence-based solution for your hyper-specific audience. Step 3 is productizing. You package that intelligence into a cheap, low-effort format, like an ebook or a PDF. This allows you to test the market immediately. This assembly line acts as a proof-of-concept machine. You fail rapidly and for free until you find the winner. Once you have that proof, you own an asset that costs nothing to duplicate and can be sold to thousands of people. Even with a perfect product, you still have to solve for traffic. If you try to run traditional ads with a beginner's budget, you are entering a race to the bottom that you cannot win. Think about how cereal is sold. Cheerios doesn't sell door to door. They put their product in a supermarket where thousands of pre-sold buyers are already walking down the aisle. That is distribution. In this model, you find your supermarket through influencer arbitrage. You look for micro-influencers who have high trust and a specific audience, but no clear way to monetize that attention. You provide the product that their audience is already asking for. The influencer promotes it, and you only pay them a share of the revenue after a confirmed sale occurs. This creates a distribution engine where you pay $0 upfront for marketing. The influencer gets a monetization strategy, and you get direct access to their pre-built audience. By combining AI production with influencer distribution, the traditional barriers to entry have effectively collapsed. The game is no longer rigged against the beginner. With these tools, the everyday person finally has the same leverage as a multi-billion-dollar corporation.